Well, we're continuing to see significant coastal flooding here in Ocean City, Maryland. This right here is St. Louis Avenue by 4th Street, and you can see, the water is built up here. This is a low-lying area, so it's not like this all across Delmarva. Well, Serena, the good news is that just within the last hour, this metro station opened back up. But still, if you walk with me here and take a look at Georgia Avenue, you'll see that right now, police cars are still here. There's this water main break early this morning around 3 a.m. You can see it's a 36-inch transmission branch. As we were talking, another gust of wind coming through here. So we are starting to feel Barry's effects here in Baton Rouge. Let's go back, though, to where the officers are focusing right now. And actually, let's focus in right here. It does appear that they've got somebody who's got their hands behind their back. Again, there's so much information we don't have, so it's important that we don't jump to conclusions. You're getting the parents' worst nightmare. That text saying, I'm hiding under a desk.
No, I was in tears.
Behind the scenes, there's a legal battle underway. It's pitting Maryland's Republican candidate for governor, Dan Cox, against the Maryland Board of Elections. And the central question is about when mail-in ballots are allowed to be counted. A lot of confusion here in southern Delaware. A plane that was sent to Martha's Vineyard full of asylum seekers just last week was set to arrive here in Georgetown, Delaware, some 20 miles away from the president's beach house. But that plane never showed up.
Well, Lorenzo, it's not fun. The snow has sort of turned into a lot of rain. And so it is wet, it is cold out here. The good news is that some of these roads, especially the primary roads, are improving. Why don't you come with me here and we'll just show you what it looks like. This is not some huge crowd that we have here on Black Lives Matter Plaza.
And outside of the suburbs, there's another interesting trend. Increasingly, people are heading to the Delaware beaches just to get away from the city.
You said that you've been bit by thousands of ticks in your life?
Yes.
And you still like what you do?
Yes. Hey, Charlotte, we've seen an influx of people trying to get a shot. Take this video right here. Man, look at that line right there. I was at the Inova Loudon Hospital in Leesburg, and the doctors and nurses have been incredibly busy. I spoke with one doctor there who said they are seeing, in her words, an unprecedented number of children with this illness. Right now to the Washington Commanders and growing speculation over where their new stadium will be built. Now, some say Virginia, Maryland, even D.C. He's paying about $50 now for 5 vials of insulin. That's not bad. But when he was uninsured, listen to this, he was paying between $400 and $800 per month. If you look at the data, more than 1 out of 100 D.C. residents tested positive for COVID-19 in just 1 week. Let that sink in. If you know 100 people, chances are you know at least one person who just got COVID. We heard from religious leaders, politicians, and community leaders, people coming together, and at times it was really hopeful, but at other times, it was also pretty tense out there as people are going through a lot of emotions right now. Of course, shock, sadness, even anger.
Amazing grace, how sweet the sound.
At Laurel Street and Jefferson Avenue, in the shadow of the Tops grocery store, a prayer vigil to remember those who passed.
We come before you in sackcloth and ashes, and we ask you to heal this city, heal this land.
What must we do to heal this community?
Yes,
what
Lord.
must we do to eradicate this type of violence in the community?
Our job is to continue to love one another, love one another, and support one another.
This is what community looks like.
But with the grief, also anger. 10 lives, community members taken.
Somebody filled his heart so full of hate that he would destroy and devastate a community.
I know that you're in pain.
New York Attorney General Letitia James spoke as well before being interrupted, and things got tense.
We got people dead. Come up on this score right here. Ain't nobody talking about the racism. The racism that's going on.
A heartbreaking 24 hours as this community reflects on their lost neighbors.
For the color of your skin, people don't like you. It's not fair.
It's just trauma, and then we have to find a way to get the help we need.
They just dropped in our backyard and just destroyed it. They just destroyed it for one day. But we're going to put it back together. We can't go back to.
Now, when the vigil was over, they actually went marching through this neighborhood. It was all to show that they are still standing. After all, this is a strong community. Republican challenger Yesli Vega was in Triangle, Virginia on Saturday, while Democrat incumbent Abigail Spanberger was in Woodbridge at an early voting rally. as both candidates make their case to voters in Prince William County. Spanberger, a former CIA case officer who was elected to office in 2018, pointing to her record in Congress.
And the legislation that has been signed into law to bring technology back home to the United States, to invest in our roads and our bridges and our infrastructure through the bipartisan infrastructure law.
Hello, fellow patriots!
Meanwhile, Vega, who serves on the Prince William Board of Supervisors, was hoping to capture the message that worked so well last year, bringing Governor Glenn Youngkin into office.
We started a movement here in the Commonwealth of Virginia last year where we said that parents absolutely mattered. And guess what? We made a statement last year in November, did we not? Yeah.
Historically, midterm elections spell trouble for lawmakers in the president's party, especially when the president's approval rating is low.
I'm Yesley Vega.
Vega has tried to put the attention on the economy, with inflation soaring at 8.3% in August.
Groceries, gas, everything costs more, yet politicians in Congress ignore the problem.
But following the overturning of Roe v. Wade, the Spanberger campaign is looking to make this the primary issue of the campaign.
Yesley Vega cheered the Supreme Court decision overturning Roe v. Wade.
Both candidates answering questions on abortion access this weekend.
The contrast between my opponent's position on abortion and mine could not be starker. I support a woman's right to choose. I do not think that as a elected official, I have the right to dictate the choices that a woman makes about her body.
I am pro-life. I always have been and always will be. As a law enforcement officer, I've stood up for the defenseless, the voiceless, and I'm going to continue to do that in every capacity that I can.
A month and a half to go before Election Day as both candidates start their sprint to the finish. We have more information about both candidates on our website, WUSA9.com.